Finally, after all that wait, finally, Haikyuu Season 3, in my opinion, for my taste, this is the most anticipated anime for this season, for me. I was waiting for this, guys. I do not read the manga, so I was very looking forward to Haikyuu Season 3. Shiratorizawa, the top dogs, the guys who destroyed Aoba last season, 2 seasons ago. They destroyed them. Versus Karasuno, the ultimate underdogs. This will be a battle of the ages, guys. I do not know how long this series is. I do not think it's 13 episodes. But what I did recall was that it was at least 8. Could be more, could be less. But I think it's 8. Somewhere around 8. The match has started, guys. This match is gonna be so fucking long. 5 sets. Let me repeat this again. On the first season of Haikyuu, when they fought against Aoba in the final match, it went to all 3 sets. And even then, it went to overtime. You know, it went up to 35 points, I think. It was tied, neck and neck, till the very end. That was 4 episodes. This is 5 sets. 5 sets. This is gonna be a battle of the fucking ages, guys. I cannot fucking wait. But alas, again, with Haikyuu loves the build-up episodes, and this was definitely a build-up episode. We only got one real play for the match, and that shit was hype. That one little scene for the match was fucking hype. It was a very clear-cut, build-up, comedy-driven introduction episode. Very nicely done, as Haikyuu does. It does a really good job of hyping the matches up, except for the teams. That's the one fault I do have with Haikyuu, is that it doesn't really expand with the teams. The only 2 teams we actually have any info and background of is Nekomura and Aoba. Those are the only 2 teams that really actually go in depth with the backstories. With the other teams, they do a quick summary of the teams right after Karasuno beats them. That's it. That's all we get with the other teams. They tried fitting as much as they could with the Shiratorizawa team. They tried cramming all the personalities in that team into this episode. Not even this episode. Only the last, really, 10 minutes of this episode. But, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I wish they would have done this last season, because there was so many fucking episodes, and most of the episodes was pure training. I think they could have, you know, maybe encompassed a little bit of Shiratorizawa's team so we could get more close to them, so we know more about them, but they didn't really do that. They did it with the other teams for the Nationals. Don't get me wrong, they did a perfect job of introducing those teams for the Nationals, but not for these finals. I gotta say this right now, man. Ryu and Nishiyama are the 2 best comedy duos in this series, man. When they were daydreaming of how awesome they would look when the girls watched them play volleyball, I could not help but fucking burst out laughing. Definitely the funniest scene this episode. I love those 2, man. Those 2 definitely should get a spin-off, a slice of life type anime. If that happens, it's because of me. I put that out there. So if that does happen, you guys could thank me later. We get a lot of comedy. We get a lot of in-depth with Karasuno and what they did to prep for this battle. Looks like their coaches, they did a lot of digging, a lot of research to see the weaknesses of Shiratorizawa. And they found out that there's not much weaknesses, but there is one thing they do, and is that they go all out. They don't fear anybody. And that might be its own weakness in itself. When somebody's too prideful, when somebody knows they're the best, when somebody knows nobody could stop them. And especially with Karasuno, with the underdog. They're not expecting much from them. They expect them to be an easy way, an easy win, an easy way to the Nationals. They beat Aoba, who was ranked number 2. I don't think they're gonna take them seriously. I see 2 outcomes in this battle, in this season 3 of Haikyuu. One is that they will lose. Karasuno will barely lose, just like they did in season 1 with Aoba. It was very heartbreaking. But instead of crying when they lose, they will look up and they will see the crowd cheering them because they gave the crowd the best battle ever. That's the second way this could end up, is they win, Barely. They barely win. It'll be the best moment of their lives. But once they enter the Nationals, they will find out that everything they went through was just kid stuff. They will get decimated. They will get obliterated in the first round and find out that the Nationals is no joke. Because I do believe Kageyama and Hata will make it. They will win this. They will. But remember, guys, they are still second years. The story revolves around Hinata and Kageyama. Most of the volleyball players in Karasuno are second years. It will make no sense for a second year to reach Nationals so fucking fast. It will be heartbreaking though. There's some third year. There's Asahi. There's Daichi. There's Sakamoto. I forgot the guy with the white hair, the setter. Either they will fail in the Nationals or they fail right now, just barely. But they will definitely not win this. No way. I always love how Hinata shocks people. That is something I will never get tired of. That guy is so short that the other team, the other crowd's team, they're mocking him. They're like, how is this kid in this? He's probably a sub. He's not even part of the team. He's just a substitute. And then instantly, when Kageyama tosses to Hinata, everybody's face reaction seeing how high Hinata could jump and how hard he spikes the ball is always fun to watch. I love seeing the reaction when they find out that Hinata is legit. I love how this first episode kind of shows us how important this is. We get introductions with every character. We don't get that usually. I think we got that in season 1 with Aoba, but I don't recall that. So, I might be wrong, but I think this is the first time they actually introduced every single character just before the game was about to start. We could see the difference in crowds. Shiratorizawa's crowds are very hyped. They're very energetic. They like getting loud. They like cheering their team. I love that. I love how they incorporate the crowds in this anime. Most of the animes, most of the sports animes don't do that. It's not needed, but it definitely adds so much more intensity into the series. And they do this perfectly. Haikyuu, it's one of a kind, guys. It's a one of a kind series. Hey man, that's the episode overall. Build up episode, comedy driven, introductions for everybody just to see where we were at. Just to give us a little reminder of how things left off in season 2. But yeah, man, overall thoughts, quick. They will lose, definitely, but they will either lose in the Nationals first round or they will lose here just barely. What do you guys think, man? Let me know. Give me your thoughts down below. See you on the next video, guys. Sayonara.